I will now speak of energy blockages in the area of sexuality, which specifically apply to women or men. In women, it is the area of the first and second chakras that is most battered and hurt as a result of sexual oppression and violence over the centuries. For quite some millennia, women have been framed into a subservient role in almost all areas of society. And this still goes for many places on Earth. With regard to sexuality, this inequality manifested as rape, assault, and humiliation on a large scale. As a result of this, many women, indeed the collective female soul, have suffered incredibly. There are deep emotional wounds which need time, love, and utmost care to heal. Often the drive for sexual union is felt by women as a longing of the heart, or as a spiritual feeling. But when they get physically intimate, they may find that they cannot express their sexual energy freely because of energy blockages in the first and second chakras. In those energy centers, there are soul memories of sexuality that was forced upon them and humiliated them. These experiences were so painful that the woman withdrew her energy, her consciousness, from the area of the belly. When this part of the body is now approached again in a sexual way, the muscles instinctively tighten, or the emotional body automatically signals resistance. The physical cells are aware of the trauma and do not go along so easily with the invitation to dance. They want to shut off and create a barrier to protect you from more aggression. This reaction is utterly understandable and should always be dealt with in a most respectful way. Using any kind of force to take away the resistance is in a way violating the hurt centers again. When you have these emotions as a woman, it is very important to become fully aware of them. There may be anger there, resistance, or fear with regard to physical intimacy. And all of these emotions are often older than the relationship you are in, older even than this lifetime. There may be very old traumas in those lowest chakras that have caused deep emotional scars. Specifically, I would advise women who recognize this pain to get acquainted with lifetimes in which they were the offender perpetrator as opposed to victim. Or if you find it difficult to access previous lifetimes, get in touch with the energy of the offender or powerful woman inside you. This may sound very strange, but the reason is this. When you have been the victim of sexual violence, this has caused a lot of anger in your energy field. There may be anger there from several lifetimes. This anger blocks you and keeps you imprisoned in a feeling of powerlessness and victimhood. To release anger, you need understanding. You need to understand why and what for. You need to see the larger picture. When you can imagine yourself as a powerful woman who could be merciless and cruel toward men and feel inside that this is also a part of you, then the anger can dissolve. A more thoroughgoing understanding can arise, an inside knowing that you are part of a larger karmic story in which you played both the role of offender and of victim. It is nearly impossible to release your emotions of pain, powerlessness, and victimhood without also looking at the other side of you, the dark side. You need not necessarily go back to past lifetimes to recognize this dark part inside you. You can also become more aware of it by watching yourself in your day-to-day life. When you feel this energy, the will to exert power or hurt others, you can sense that you have not only been the helpless victim of outside circumstances. There is a karmic tie between offender and victim. Both roles reflect aspects of yourself. As soon as you know and accept your dark side, You can look at your own inner wounds in a different way and start to forgive. When there is understanding, anger can dissolve, and you can get in touch with the layers of emotions beneath. The sadness, the grief, the pain that is there on many levels, also in the body itself. It is very important for women to acknowledge the offender aspect in themselves and to work with it. When there is hatred and grudges in you with regard to sexuality, realize that the more hatred and anger you feel, the more you identify with the role of victim, and the more you rob yourself of your freedom. Try to feel inside you that in the arena of sexuality, a karmic game is being played out in which you have fulfilled both roles, the good guy as well as the bad guy. From there, you can get to a place of forgiveness, forgiving yourself as well as someone else. Things happen for a reason. Acts of violence and repression may seem meaningless, but there is always a story behind them. And whenever there is sexual violence involved, it leaves deep impressions on all 4 levels of the human being.